Hello everyone and welcome to accountthis.com. Thank you for taking the time to check us out. There's a lot of great information on here. I would advise to buy the book immediately, the one you see to the right of your screen there. This work is phenomenal. It's a one of a kind. I don't think there's anything out there in the world like it. It shows how you put your money to work for you so you don't have to. Does anyone ever went to college? Spend $50,000 on a university, 4 years later you come back, the only thing you know how to do is look for a job. They don't teach you at all that you could have spent the $50,000 on buying a source of income. Did you know you can buy sources of income? Sources of income. They're called income producing real estate. You can buy small businesses. You can buy big businesses. They're all sources of income. Now, the one thing I want to make certain is that you don't want to buy stocks with dividends with a brokerage firm that takes the dividends to buy more stock, because that's not hitting your bank account. It's not cash flow. All right? And the thing we want to do is have the money coming into our bank account so we can call it income, sources of income. All right? So that's businesses and income producing real estate, not necessarily stocks. But I want to mention really quick about the power of intention, because wealth just happens to be an intention. If you don't ever intend to be wealthy, then you can't ever expect to acquire any level of wealth. And you can't just very well go play lottery. I mean, it's actually more likely for you to get struck by lightning twice in a row than to win a lottery. So, I mean, you could bet your money on that and you'd be better off. But besides that, money is not the solution. You know, I think if you don't know how to spend money appropriately before you have money, after the lottery, you still don't know how to spend money appropriately, and it's no wonder that 85% of all lottery winners are broke within the next 2 to 3 years. I mean, they're just giving their money away. The next thing they know, they have more debt and less income. They don't know how to buy it. They didn't even know it was possible to buy sources of income. But that's what this book teaches, and how that fits into your financial statements and how that helps you. Did you know that the laws of banking and finance were literally taken from the laws of electricity and electromagnetism? I'm not making this up. Do you know the difference between a battery and a capacitor? A battery can dissipate its power slowly over time, and a capacitor dissipates its energy very rapidly. Your bank account is likened to a financial capacitor. It holds financial charge. I mean, it's as simple as that. And it's designed because you're not saving money anymore. I mean, all the way back to 1971, currency and money have been separated. It used to be currency and money used to be the same thing before 71. But after 1971, Richard Nixon took us off the gold standard, and then currency and money forever parted ways. Money has real value. That's the definition of money. Currency it's a worthless piece of paper that, according to law, we can exchange for real value. In essence, it's potential value, and you can exchange for real value. You know, a $10 bill of currency could be potentially $10 worth of gas, potentially $10 worth of groceries, so on and so forth. It has no real value. When you put it in a bank to sit there and gain interest, you have to, because it's a fiat currency, it's perpetually losing value due to the rate of inflation. Okay? And so it's important to understand what is going on in the world of finance and money and banking, so that you can know what's happening to your bank account and wonder why you're always struggling. It's designed to make people struggle if they don't know how to get out of that situation. Okay? This manual will help you with that. Okay? Another thing I want to mention is that real estate and wealth go hand in hand. It's like a hand in glove. The glove is useless without a hand. Okay, I mean, what good is a glove if you don't have a hand to put it? It's useless. Well, the same thing with real estate and wealth. If you don't have, I'm not necessarily going to say real estate is the only way to wealth. There are many avenues to wealth, and you can ask Warren Buffett. He's never bought a piece of real estate. But it's the same financial understanding that is relevant to that. But the thing that I found when I was doing my research and studying of all the wealthy people on the planet and their stories and what they went through and how they acquired their wealth, I noticed one thing repeatedly, and that was that they all share a common denominator, which is real estate. Wow, okay, so real estate for me was a thing to do. Okay, I'll look into real estate. But what is it about real estate and wealth that makes this possible? And the next thing I realized was that it's debt. You can use debt to get wealthy, and that's a fact. And that's counterintuitive because people have a misconception about debt being a bad thing. Well, in most cases, for most individuals, that debt is a bad thing. But unless you use debt to buy a source of income that puts money in your bank account every month, then that seems like good debt to me. Especially if it's income producing real estate, which you collect rents, and then you use that money to pay down your debt, and the difference goes to your pocket. You don't even have to pay off the debt. Your renters are paying off the debt. And you get the financial benefit of that if you would only know about it. So it's important to know that you can build your wealth through real estate. It is no coincidence then that most of the highest net worth individuals, guess what, own the tallest buildings. It's no coincidence. Okay? I mean, you can think about it that way when you're driving around and you're looking at buildings in a city and who owns what. I can guarantee you that the highest buildings are owned by, it doesn't necessarily be the highest net worth individuals. They could have a few not so highest, but together their net worth would be huge. So they form a partnership, they pull the resources together to buy the building, and they do it that way. Split the cash flow according to what they agree upon. Okay? So it's very important to know the forces that are being applied to your bank account. Even when you have money in a bank and you see that the interest rate is building your bank account up, you have to understand that those dollars they're giving you are worth less than the original dollars that you put in the bank due to inflation. Okay? So, it's not just necessarily that you want to invest. Most people think about stock market and go give your money to a broker because you don't know how to invest and you think that's what they're trained to do, so give your money away to the brokers, and then they can do with your money what they want to. But there's a reason why they call them brokers, because more often than not they're broker than you are. Okay? And that's that's the way it is. You educate yourself financially by buying this book, studying those financial statements and the way they work together, and then you can start to notice the difference between good investment and bad investment advice. Because what you think today is good investment advice, all of a sudden, after the blinders have been removed, it's an eye-opener. You say, holy mackerel, that doesn't make any sense. Why would I give my money away to a stockbroker who's broker than me when I now know how to invest my money properly? Besides that, when you buy stocks, how much control do you have over the price appreciation of that stock? Unless you buy the controlling interest of the company, which could be many millions of dollars, you have absolutely no control over that investment. And besides that, you can't even get insurance for that asset in case the price drops. Now there is insurance for that in the stock market, but they don't call it insurance like car insurance, although it works just the same. They call it derivatives, but you can buy a derivative on a stock either way for the price appreciation to fall or go up in those derivatives. If you would educate yourself to learn how to use those options, they do call them options for a reason. But again, in real estate, when you buy the building, you have total control over the financial feedback loop that this thing creates. Meaning that you have control of the income, you can control the expenses by reducing the expenses, you can increase rates if you wanted to, if you can justify that, that's by controlling the income. You can control the asset and the liability side. And 4 controls of real estate. So that you control completely the value of the price appreciation of that asset, and if we're talking about real estate. And besides that, you can get insurance for real estate, not only if the building is washed away in a flood or burnt down by a fire, you can also get renter's loss insurance for income producing real estate, which means that if you have multifamily housing and you have this insurance and some of the rooms for, let's say, 2 months were not rented out, you could go to the insurance company and collect rent for that month from your insurance company. It's called renter's loss insurance. How many people knew about that existed? Right. You might want to ask yourself why that is. Another thing is that if you ever wanted to go to the bank and ask for a loan, say $100,000 to buy stocks, how likely is it that you're going to get a loan from a bank to buy stocks? Because the banks know. They say, I'm not giving you money for stocks. Are you kidding me? I don't want the money in stocks. That's too risky. But then if you walk into the same bank and you show them that you got this income producing piece of real estate that you've been looking at, you got the down payment, and guess what? All you need is $100,000 to buy this property. This is the cash flow. This is what we got. You can see the financials. And then the bank goes, okay, what's your credit score? You see, all of a sudden you're in business. Now it's dependent upon your credit score. If you have good credit, you're more likely to get the loan. If you have bad credit, you have less likely to get the loan. But the point is, banks will loan to real estate. So not only are the rich building their wealth through real estate, now they know why. Because banks loan you the money. And this brings us to point number 2. You have leverage. You only have control, but now you have leverage. You can get on the teeter-totter and push the other side of your money up through this, through using the banker's money. Okay, and that increases your return on investment, which means the money comes back to your bank account faster through the use of leverage. So that's the way it works. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can go ahead and email us, info@accountthis.com. Hope you enjoy the site and take away from it what you do. Please buy the book. It's a phenomenal resource to have. It is only $50, and I say only $50 because again, as I started this conversation, if you ever went to college and had to pay for the books, you can pay $100, $200 for a book, and again, never ever learn how to put your money to work for you so that you don't have to. It's only $50, and it's well worth the price. Thank you. I hope you all buy it, and good luck to you all.